What's going on? It's me, Jerupidus, and I just want to say happy Friday to you. I hope you're having a great day. I know I am because I'm back playing this sweet game. So, we've just arrived in the town of Gaia, and the first thing we're going to do, as usual, is talk to everybody. This is the town of Gaia. Yep, it sure is. This town is Gaia. Everyone thinks the tower in the Yanakurm desert is a mirage. I wonder. So that's the tower we flew over the desert. It is not a mirage, but it is called the Mirage Tower. He got away from me. Here we go. Legend says the Sky Warriors flew about here and there from a castle high in the sky. That is true. That did happen. And the game doesn't really fill in too much detail about the Sky Warriors, but I will give you a little bit of details on them. But it might be a little bit more appropriate to do that when we get a bit further into the game. So let's keep going talking to these people. Unbelievable. You're outsiders, right? How did you get this far north? That's a good question. This place cannot be accessed on foot, and it's not like everybody has an airship. You know, it's pretty much just us. So she is understandably surprised to see an outsider. Have you been to the city south of here? I just cannot understand a word spoken there. I wondered what language. So that city is called Leffin, and they speak Leffinish there. Legends say the castle in the west is a place to test courage. We will be interested in visiting there because I think we've got some courage. We're the Light Warriors. And I don't mind putting that to the test. The fairy at the spring was kidnapped. That sounds bad. Who would kidnap a fairy? Why would someone do this? Now, there are going to be a couple more townsfolk around here. There was that witch I think we went past. So let's backtrack just a bit. And she says, what's that broom up to? It's talking backwards. So that is for you if you didn't figure out earlier what the brooms in Matoya's cave were saying. So let's see what this broom has to say. I'm not even going to try to read that backwards. Obviously, it is backwards, so it reads, do you have great power? Power in all caps. We do have great power. Nintendo power. Did we talk to this dancer lady? We did. Okay. Now, I'm really looking forward to getting to the magic and weapons and armor shops, but let's just keep going. Talking to people. I believe we've talked to everyone over here, so I think we can move on. Yep. Okay. I'm just flapping my lips, but I'm getting pretty excited because we're coming up on a pretty exciting portion of the game. So I'm going to be a little bit of a scatterbrain because I really just can't wait to get to the next thing that we're doing. But good things come to those who wait. So we're going to make sure we talk to everyone here so we get some important plot points. Only a fairy can draw oxyale from the spring. Now, I don't know if it's oxyale or oxyale. So I'm going to call it oxyale. Kind of stay between those two things. I saw a shining object flying towards the east. Now you might be thinking that she was talking about the airship, and the Sky Warriors are the people who buried the airship in the desert. But she's not. She's talking about something else. Let me see. Yes, there was a professor that studied Leffinish. That's interesting because they don't speak our language and we can't understand them. So if there's a professor who studied their language, we'd be interested in talking to him and maybe he can translate it. Hardy har, you are too late. I bottled the fairy and sold her to a caravan. So that's what happened to the fairy, is a pirate showed up, stuck her in a bottle and sold her. For money, I guess. These pirates are just the worst. Now, I just want to show that there is a little fairy lake over here. This is where the fairy was, that he bottled and sold to a caravan. But right now, there's nothing. So why don't we pop out of town here? And we'll go back in, and now we get to talk about spells and weapons and armor, because there is some exciting stuff going on here. So let's start with level 7 black magic. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice there are only 2 spells here. And the reason for that is because the rest of the level 7 spellbook is on sale somewhere else. So for right now, all we can access here is Ice 3 and Break. Break is going to be Poison Elemental Stone. It hits one target, unlike Bane, where Bane hits the entire enemy formation, but it is slightly more accurate, which seems to me the way that, like, level ups of things should work, where, like, the party one should be less accurate and the single one should be more accurate. But anyway, the only one that we can actually learn for sale in this town is Ice 3, but we won't be able to use any level 7 magic until level 20, and why don't we check out what level we're at, which is 16. So it's not for a while, so there's no real good reason to buy it right now. Why don't I actually check my item count? Yeah, 54 heal potions, that should be okay, I think. We'll probably pick some more up, but why don't we get to the white magic? So here we have Cure 4 and Harm 4. Cure 4 is absolutely unbelievable. It is a instantaneous full heal, but not only that, it also cures every single status ailment except for KO and Petrify Stone. I keep calling it Petrify, so maybe I'll just keep doing that. But either way, it's the only way in the game to cure paralysis other than just waiting for it to wear off. This spell is crazy good, and we will certainly be interested in buying it. But we can't learn it right now, and even if we could, we wouldn't be able to use it until level 20, so this can certainly wait. Harm 4 is obviously Harm, but more 4E, it's lots of damage, but we are probably going to skip Harm 4 because there just aren't really that many undead enemies left in the game. And the level 7 spellbook for white mages is pretty stacked. So with that out of the way, let's check out the armor shop. So we've got gold bracelets and pro rings here. The gold bracelet has 24 absorb, and it is the best bracelet, the best body armor that you can buy. You will find something that's a little bit better later in the game, but it's very, very good. 24 absorb is a lot. The problem, though, is that it is 50,000 gil, and that's a ton. Whereas the pro ring here is only 20,000, and the pro ring is actually the best hand armor in the game. Like, you won't get better hand armor for any class. It provides 8 absorb, which is the most you can get on your hands, and to boot, it offers protection from Death Elemental. Now, that doesn't do everything you want it to, where there are KO spells that are not Death Elemental. Poison is a big one, and then so is Earth. And I think there's a status one too, but the point is that it does stop things like Rub, which you may remember when those mages casted it on us and just absolutely decimated us. So what we're gonna do is go right ahead and get a bunch of these. It is worth noting that you can find these for free later, but I don't want to wait. We're just gonna get one for everybody. I think that'll be fun. And I think Skittle is too full, so let's go ahead and sell all of our hand armor. I don't think I'm wearing any hand armor. Yeah, looks good. Okay. And then for Doc and Wilbo, we're just going to sell these caps, because I need them to kind of act as mules and be able to hold stuff that we find in dungeons, and the cap is only 1 absorb, the pro ring is just much, much better. Oh, looks like I didn't manage to buy one for Skittle, so let's head back in and do that. All right, cool. Now we all have Death Elemental resistance, and we all just got a pretty big absorb upgrade as well, which is pretty sweet. So let's check out the weapon shop. There is only one weapon for sale here, and that is the Cat Claw. The Cat Claw is gonna be Wilbo's ultimate weapon. It is pretty ridiculously statted for a Black Mage's weapon. This thing has 22 damage and plus 35% hit rate, which is completely absurd. Like, that will grant him an extra attack, maybe even 2 by the time we can use it, but it is 65,000 gil. And we don't need it right now. And furthermore, Wilbo is coming up to a point in the game where he is basically never going to use his physical attack again. Nevertheless, I do want to get that final weapon. I think it's pretty cool. And, you know, if you have the opportunity to get final weapons for people, why wouldn't you get them? I missed my turn here, so let's back up a little bit. Because we have some pretty sweet magic to check out over here. So this is going to be level 8 magic. Now, you'll also notice there is a spell missing from this one. The final level 8 spell is for sale elsewhere, and we will see that when we get to it. But since we're here, why don't we talk about these? So Fade is the big one here. This is the one I'm the most excited about. This is Holy. And weirdly, in this game, it affects the entire enemy formation instead of just one. But it is real sweet, it's real damaging, and it is the White Mage's ultimate damage spell. This one works on all enemies, it doesn't just work on undead, so you can just send a wrecking ball of a spell at an entire enemy formation using your White Mage, which is pretty sweet. Wall will grant one of your allies resistance to all elements. That sounds better than it actually is, because we're going to find a headgear called the Ribbons, and if you're a longtime series fan, you know that the ribbon grants resistance to all elements. So Wall doesn't really end up having that much of a use, but you do only find 3 ribbons, so there are situations where you may want to cast this on someone who is not wearing a ribbon, but not very often, I would say. Exfer is sort of the opposite thing, where it's supposed to remove all resistances from an enemy. However, it doesn't work, but the chef's kiss about this spell is that if enemies cast it on you, it does work. And I love that. I think that's just wonderful. Imagine spending 60,000 gil on a spell that does nothing, unless it gets casted on you. But we obviously can't afford any of these, and we're not going to be buying Exfer, so let's move on. And check out the black magic. Okay, so we have 2 pretty similar spells right at the top here. We have Stop and Zap. Zap I like for lots of reasons, not the least of which is that it does the same thing as Stop, but instead of paralysis, which Stop would do, Zap just does KO. So instead of paralyzing them, you could just kill them. So there is basically never a reason to buy Stop. Stop is slightly more accurate, which is worth mentioning, but like, come on. The other thing is that Zap has an exclamation point. Like, it's not Zap, it's like Zap. And that makes it awesome. It's the only spell in the game with punctuation, with a punctuation mark, so that's pretty sweet. XXXX is a spell we've seen before. It was casted by the Eye in the Ice Cave. This is a power word spell, I may have mentioned that at the time, but if not, it instantly KOs any enemy that has less than 300 HP. So a way to think about that is that the best case scenario for this spell is that it deals around 300 damage to an enemy. Which is fine, but not really exciting for a level 8 spell. But that those shops are not the whole story. There are still spells left to find. But we've got our pro rings on, and I'm feeling pretty saucy, but why don't we swing by the item shop just to make sure we're at 99 heal potions? Where is it? Did I lose it? It's back this way, I just know it is. Yeah, it's the one that has bushes growing in the building for some reason. Very strange asset, I think. Come on, dude, get out of the way. Got heal potions to buy, alright. Oh yeah, this is the worst item shop in the game because the heal potions are not the top option. Okay, so let's check out our item count. We've got 99 heal potions. We do have a spare house, a couple of tents. 37 pure potions is plenty, and 2 softs. Now, I am mildly concerned about that soft situation. There's going to come a point where I stop getting away with not having bought any. I really didn't need to spend 500 gil at the inn there, but that's okay. So what we're gonna do really quickly is run back over to Elfland and grab some soft potions. Here we go. And right now, you might be thinking there's not really a clear sense of direction. Like, yes, we've gotten some vague clues about things. And you are mostly right. I think the idea of this portion of the game is that you're just kind of supposed to explore and talk to people and just get some general ideas of things to try out that way. But mostly just flying around and checking out points of interest on the map. So what we're going to do right now that we've got a very nice set of items, basically preempting anything that might go wrong, we're going to go check out that island chain that we saw earlier. That's going to be right over here somewhere. Here we go. And we'll just go right to left, why not? Alright, some treasure boxes, let's check them out. 2,000 gil, love it. 1,400 gil. And 2,750, nice. We could use it, we just spent all our money on protect rings. And what's this? You are not afraid of me? Then I am impressed. Yes, these caves are the home of the dragons. But they're not dragons the way that dragon monsters we find are. Lots of gil in here, nice. They're a race of beings who are friendly. They might look scary, but they're actually pretty cool. I'm just gonna double check over here. Okay, so from this you can kind of see that there are adjacent rooms here, but we can't access them from over here. So I just kind of wanted to take a little stroll. There are no encounters in here, so taking a wrong step isn't going to be the end of the world. But let's move on to the next island then. Now, if I'm not mistaken, okay. Have you met Bahamut, the Dragon King? He honors those with courage as true warriors. I would love to meet him. What I was going to say is there's nothing in here, but that's not entirely true. There is a cool dragon guy. So what do we got over here? Can only land on this tile. I can't land on those marshy tiles. Catman, these are new. So we'll leave them in. But since we're fairly close to town, and we pretty much always will be because we have the airship, I'm just going to go ahead and hit him with a fire too. Not super impressive damage there, but they are not weak to fire, so... Our new absorb stats are looking pretty good. Wilbo unfortunately got poisoned, but he really didn't take that much damage, and these are appropriately strong enemies for our level at this point in the game. And it's nice that when they hit one of your mages, it doesn't absolutely cripple them. All right, nice crit. And another one. Oh my god, how did they manage to poison this many of us? $780 experience and 3,000 gil for that is pretty nice. Let's get back in formation. Right, another dragon over here. Let's talk to you. We are going to the Castle of Ordeal to the northeast. There we will test and bring back proof of our courage. So that's some direction for what we're doing right now. Nothing here. I was hoping to get the well text. That's kind of sad. And what do you have to say? Once in the north, there were beautiful palaces and big mechanical castles. That's interesting. I wonder if that has anything to do with that floating castle. The proof of your courage might be anything. It could literally be anything. I wonder what it will be for us. 10 gil? Come on. A free house is always nice. And 500 gil. Okay, cool. We'll just come out the other way, just make sure we double check that corner, but that's everything in here. But I think you're starting to get what's going on here, which is we want to go to that castle to test our courage. Now, let's do that center island last. Let's hit this one right now. Only the courageous ones bring back the proof of their courage. And we need to go to that castle, prove our courage, and bring back proof that we've done it. Cabin, I'll take it. Always nice to not have to buy those field heal and save items. They're so expensive. Gil and a soft potion. Cool. Adding to your soft potion count is always nice. 800 is so much for a single potion. You're never going to need something ridiculous like 99 of them, but it's always good to get an 800 gil potion for free. All right, this is the last island, so let's check it out. If you're brave enough, try meeting King of the Dragons Bahamut. I think I will. I think I'll do exactly that. Unprofitable business is not a practice of the dragons of Cardia. Okay, good to know. They run a tight ship, a profitable business. Long ago, dragons and humans lived and traded together. Apparently they don't anymore, but that's because this area is pretty much inaccessible unless you have a pirate ship or an airship. And just one more. A bunch of worms. Okay, this is a reasonably dangerous fight. So... yeah, I don't really want to burn a fog too. That seems kind of dumb. But I will go ahead and drop a... yeah, let's just say fire 2. Actually, let's just do a fast. That'll just chew through these guys pretty quickly. Pretty fast, even. But so far, the Catmen were poisonous. These don't really have anything special to them. They just have a decent bit of health. Oh boy. 6 hits for 400 damage, you say. Skittle, you scary sometimes. Yeah, geez, what a monster. What an absolute maniac. I did manage a crit, though. But that's a bigger one. Alright, let's check out this cave. This is quite the hallway. Will it ever end? Alright, here we go. I love the design of the hallways in this. And you might be thinking this looks like a boss fight or something, but it is not. This is Bahamut's room. Bahamut verifies the true courage of all. Well, let's talk to him. I am Bahamut, King of the Dragons. Bring me proof of your courage to receive the honor due true warriors. Okay. Well, we will definitely do that. We'll just watch this thing zigzag in. It's so cool. It's so good. It has a very nice, grandiose feeling that is probably difficult to convey given the limitations of what you could do with an NES system. But this is a decent hike out of here. But this, what we're about to do, is why I'm so excited. We are about to prove our courage at the Castle of Ordeal, which is here. Now, I want to point something out. A couple of things, actually. There are 3 ways that you can get to here, so it's kind of a pick-your-poison situation. This way is the longest walk, where we have to go like this. This way, all the way around. And then here. The other way you can go is by landing right over here. This is a shorter walk, but with much more dangerous encounters. In particular, this desert has worms in it that can cast Crack, which is an Earth Elemental KO spell that hits your entire party, and we do not currently have the means to defend against that. As I mentioned with the Pro Rings, they don't protect against Earth, they protect against Death Elemental. So that spell, if the worm goes first, can kill your whole party in 1 turn. You just die, game over. So we don't have the means to protect from that, so we're not going to go this way, I don't think. And then there is one other way you can go, which is grabbing your ship, sailing all the way here and docking right here, and then you're literally right on top of it, which probably takes the longest, but is the absolute least dangerous thing. Now, I think it's pretty cool that there are multiple different ways of attacking this, and also, this entire quest is completely optional. You don't have to do this. But with that being said, let's get to it. I do want to travel the ground because there are going to be some new encounters, and I want to see those. Alright, Sabertooths are new. We've seen the Catmen before, and they get to strike first, so they're just going to poison everybody. Now, we've got a couple houses to spare, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and spend Wilbo's magic because we're going to get to refill that before we head into the castle. That was a hard hit. Okay. Wow, that crit didn't drop it? Come on. I think we should be okay with physical attacks from here on out. The other reason I want to go for this walk is because we are, I would say, slightly underleveled. Kind of the way you can tell that is that you can't even use the level of spell that's for sale in the town you're at. That means you're probably a little bit behind. I don't want to get crazy overleveled or anything, but I also don't want to walk in somewhere and just get killed in there, right? I didn't mean to use that tent, but it's fine. Yeah, that tore us up a little bit. All right. So I'm hoping that by the time we hit this castle, we'll have leveled up. It looks like we will. Yeah, it looks like we'll have, be 17 by the time we get there, which would be nice. All right, there's Doc's level up. That's sweet. And we are all poisoned because we ran into some catmen again. But you can see we're kind of getting tore up here. So some level ups would definitely be helpful. Oops, we need to get back in formation, as usual. but the fact that in the very first game... Have we seen these before? I don't think so. I feel like we saw the red ones. Not 100% sure. Let's just hit him with Fire 3, why not? Yeah, no, we definitely haven't seen these. I would remember these being poisonous. Well, Fire 3 was kind of a letdown there, that's sad. But what I was gonna say is, I think it's so cool that in the very first game, you have things like open exploration, you have things like optional quests. And there's even more here that we'll talk about when we get to it, but that are instant series staples. And so there is just so very much that they got right. There's so much here in the first game they ever did, where I find the problems, the bugs and the glitches, things not working, very forgivable, just given what an absolute masterpiece this is otherwise. So Skittles up to level 17, that's great. As though he needs to be any stronger, but I sure do. Alright, that looks okay. Yeah, I mean, this walk is no joke. Especially if you accidentally end up in the desert if you don't scout your route first. Okay, I super let that fight drag on way too long. And I have some serious regrets. And we're gonna go ahead and finish the job with Cure Spells, since we're gonna use a house when we get there anyway. Oh, I forgot to use a Pure Potion. Did I miss another person? Oh man. They really tore us up. That makes me slightly nervous. Seriously? You know what it was? Is the bottom three got poisoned and that didn't mess up the formation, so I just didn't even notice. Oh no, this one's a dead end. All right. I told you I was going to be a little scatterbrained. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I am a little apprehensive about this dungeon. Just based upon how the road is treating us right now, I'm a little scared. It's like, I get it, you can poison me. We get it, you guys. These catmen are just the most poisonous beings imaginable. Alright, here we are at the Castle of Ordeal. Let's save, get our spell charges back, and let's dive in. Alright, so he says, possession of the crown is required to test your courage. Take it to the royal throne and bring back proof of your courage. Good luck. And we want to go to this top left room first. That's going to get us going here. So when we step on that, it's going to teleport us here. Now, it is pretty easy to get lost in here, but fortunately I know the way. I know I've said that before and immediately made a wrong turn, but we won't this time. These are going to teleport you around, and now a lot of them have only one option, like this. So the first one, we want to take the southern one. This one, we only have one option. This one, we want to take the southern one. And over here, will this be a fork? It will not. So only one option here. This one, we want to take the eastern one, so this first one here. And here is the final room of these teleporters, but we do want to swing by this treasure room first. Now, this is going to be a trap chest, of course. And this is the Mud Golem. Just rolling one of these is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to go ahead and throw a fast on Skittle. These do have a lot of HP, and they like to cast fast on themselves. But if they're doing that, they kind of waste a turn, and Skittle is just going to cut this thing into pieces. Yep. And what do we get? The Zeus Gauntlet. Now, this gauntlet is pretty good. I think it's got a little bit less absorb than the Pro Ring, but the important thing about this is that when you use it in combat, it casts Lit 2. So Wilbo now can cast Lit 2 every turn for free, which is pretty sick. This final pillar, we're going to want to take the one that is the furthest south, which I believe is going to be this one. I hope I'm not wrong. I am not wrong. Wonderful. And so here we are. This is going to be the top floor. And right here is going to be a trapped tile. So these are nightmares. They're nothing too special. Rolling two of them is a little bit dangerous, so I'm just going to throw up a fog too, I think. Just to make sure nothing goes wrong. I doubt it's necessary, but these are weak to ice, so why don't we go ahead and hit them with an ice too. $101.74, that's pretty good. And I miss. Of course I did. I can't wait to do this thing. It's so exciting. I can't wait to prove our courage. That's what I'll say. All right. And what do we got here? The Heal Staff. Now, this is going to work similar to the Zeus Gauntlet, but it is a weapon. It's worthless in combat, but it allows Doc to cast Heal every turn. Which, as you might imagine, is pretty sweet and more useful than his physical attack a lot of the time. And a technique you can do is sort of leave one really weak enemy and then just use the Heal Staff over and over. Iron Gauntlet, that's not worth anything. Another Ice Sword, fantastic. And a gold bracelet. Now that is awesome. And we are going to go ahead and give that to Doc because he's the most important person to keep alive. Because if he falls, we can't cast life on anyone. If he's alive, then we're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and give him that absorb. And it will very conveniently save us 50,000 gil, finding that there. Ah, Medusas, these are new. And they're nothing super special. But why don't we go ahead and use our Zeus Gauntlet since we're here? It's not going to be great against them, but it is pretty cool. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm glad we bought those pure potions. But 51 damage out of Wilbo for no charge. Not using a spell charge is fantastic. Just excellent. So where are my soft potions? Here we go. And a nice treasure room down here. None of these are going to be trapped. 7,000 gil. And we did just take a bit of damage in that last fight, so why don't we make sure we're healed up. Okay. Another free house, gotta love that. And that one's empty. Now, that one is the Zeus Gauntlet from the previous floor. You can find it in there in an untrapped chest if you don't want to fight the Mud Golems. But I, of course, want to fight all the trap chests. I think it's cool. Now, here we are. This is going to be a trap tile, but why don't we just grab the prize first? So this is the tail. The tail is proof of our courage that we've come through here and conquered this place. But first we gotta make it through this tile, so let's get it. These are zombie dragons. Zombie dragons are pretty strong, but we are just gonna blast these dudes. Let's do a harm 3, and let's do a fire 3. Because they are undead, we can absolutely give them the business with our spellcasters. And harm 3 ought to drop this one, I think. Oh, 69 damage? What? What was that? Doc, get it together, dude. Alright, Skittle knows what's up. And with that, we can step on the throne and get out of here. We have the proof of our courage. And let me tell you, this is very exciting stuff. Now, unfortunately for us, we gotta make that walk all the way back. So why don't we go ahead and use a house? Make sure we're saved up, and let's get to walking. Sphinxes are new. These are not anything special either, they're just kind of, you know, your generic heavies. So why don't we go ahead and use our Zeus Gauntlet? Yep, and Skittle is a beast as usual. But as you may imagine, considering we just found the Heal Staff and the Zeus Gauntlet, we are going to find even more equipment that casts spells like this, and it's just awesome. It really makes the larger formations much more manageable. And it just makes it go a little faster, which is always nice because you are going to have to sit through a lot of random battles if you play this game. This one is being a little stubborn here. I think I forgot to use my Zeus Gauntlet last turn, but that's okay. They must have a very high evade stat because Skittle is not doing extra hits. So I suppose that is somewhat notable. Yeah, we're good on the old hit point count. All right, imagine we got poisoned. I can't believe it. And how much money do we have? I'm just curious. 72,000? We may be able to afford a gold bracelet, but I think I want to just keep saving my money for spells because they're going to cost a lot, and we will be able to find pretty good equipment as we go. Alright, getting to use the Heal Staff every turn in battle is actually fantastic. Oops, I used the tent again. That's okay. And it changed the position of the heal potions, which is always nice. Alright. Let's get this tale back to Bahamut. Bahamut, I should say. I knew I was going to do that. There is actually some controversy surrounding how that word is pronounced, but the most compelling sources I found suggested it is pronounced Bahamut. But of course, when we were kids, we didn't know that stuff. Didn't know anything about Japanese pronunciations or even where these names come from. So we basically just had to guess at the pronunciation. But we've got our tail. And this is what I've been so hyped for. Ooh, I can't wait. And with each step I walk down this hallway, my hype just gets bigger. This is gonna be so awesome. All right, Dragon King, what you got for me? Let's see if these guys have anything new to say. Not yet. And they did say that the proof could be anything, and for us, it's a rat's tail. So the tail of a rat proves your courage. I shall give you the honor due true warriors. And look at this. Look at how ripped Skittle is all of a sudden. He was already ripped. Check this out. We have gone through the class change. So now Skittle is a knight, I am a ninja, Doc is a white wizard, and Wilbo is a black wizard. Now here's the most exciting part. We'll talk a little bit about what this means in just a sec, but I want to do this immediately. I can finally use fighter level stuff. So I can put this flame armor on, and let's give me an ice shield. And I can wear actual shields now too. So now both me and Skittle resist death, ice, and fire, which is real sick and just fantastic, and I couldn't be more excited. Now, stat growth doesn't really change for any of us. The only class that it legitimately changes is the Black Belt, who turns into the Grandmaster, and he actually gets a little bit worse. But he's already fantastic, so he can take it. It's just a programming error, where I think his magic defense growth gets worse. But basically everything stays the same for all of the classes that we're using. The other very exciting part, though, is me and Skittle are going to have access to magic. Skittle is going to be able to cast level 1 through 3 white magic, and I'm going to get to cast level 1 through 4 black magic. And you may remember off the top of your head that Fast is a level 4 black magic spell. So now I get to cast Fast on myself. Ooh, and I almost forgot. I can use fighter level swords. So now I get to use an ice sword just like Big Man Skittle. How sick is that? So I am finally combat relevant. And I couldn't be more stoked to stop being the worst person in the party. All right, now where is Gaia? It's gonna be right up over here. And the last thing that I didn't get to mention is that now Doc and Wilbo can use level 8 magic. They wouldn't have been able to cast anything, and we can use a selection of level 6 and 7 spells as well. But why don't we hit the inn, even though it's 500 gil? And look at how cool our party looks. The new sprites are just awesome. But let's sell our spoils. So we can sell 1 silver bracelet, a buckler, this iron gauntlet, silver bracelets, and I think that's everything. Yeah. But we do have some weapons to sell. My coral sword can go. And what else? Yeah, so I don't want to sell... I could just equip the heal staff to make room, but you're never really going to be that crowded on weapons, so we can just hang on to the silver hammer. It is better in combat, so... I doubt I will be attacking with Doc very often anymore, now that I can cast things like heal every turn. But we are going to go ahead and pick up a couple of spells here. In fact, why don't we go ahead and grab Ice 3 right now? But that's going to be it, and then we're just going to keep saving our money. I think we'll skip the gold bracelet. But we have still a lot left to do, but we just have these cool new sprites. I just want to look at them one more time. They're so fantastic, and especially me. Like, the biggest improvement is definitely me. I go from a weird sort of green dude into a badass red ninja. How great is that? But that's going to be all the time I've got for today. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Final Fantasy Friday.